We on the road again, y'all. It's raining out here. I hate working when it's raining, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Oh man, that phrase right there is something else. Universe bless. We out here. For real, for real. For real, for real, for real, for real. The boondocks. What's up, what's up? One in the building. Hit that thumbs up if you like the view. Makes you feel like you driving, right? Ooh, wee. Three in the building. What's happening? Happy Thursday. Ride along with me. Welcome to the ONYXCON Network. 9 in the building, 11 in the building. Let's get the thumbs up. Let's get the love up in here. We had some folks in here for minutes. Get the likes up. Enjoying the view on this rainy day. 15 in the building. If you are a subscriber, you can hit the chat. Respect first, always. If you're going to say anything, make sure it makes sense. From another country, I welcome you. I love my international audience, but I need you to translate it into English. Please, pretty please. Because that'd be cracking me up. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. This is where it's taking me today. Man, they got me on these rural routes. I don't mind them usually if as long as it ain't raining. But when it's raining, and I just hope it's got gravel all the way. Because if it ain't, wheels be spinning out, all that craziness. It's that real country ride right now. You don't need no speed bumps over here. You gotta go slow. Mm, mm, mm. This is why I be telling y'all to support the channel, man. So if I gotta do something like this, I could be going somewhere to go fishing, not just to drop something off doing courier work on the side. No, I could be doing the real content that y'all tune in for. All my people who really subscribe here and know how we do. So I could be going fishing somewhere. I could be hiking somewhere. Somewhere I know, somewhere safe. You know, this right here, this is rolling the dice every damn time I do this. And while I'm not showing y'all these people's houses, there are people back here. It's not just a country road. I'm passing by houses and stuff. Hit that like button. How we got 11 in the building? Let's not get to the 2 digits and we only got 1 like. Come on, y'all. Treat me right, I'll treat you better. Hit that like button. Countdown starts now. I'm about to cut it off because I really don't need it today. I'd rather start all over, get me a whole new audience than to sit up here with all these people watching and can't nobody hit the subscribe button, can't nobody hit the like button. What the hell? Thank you for the love. Somebody acting right. Somebody want to see the show. Okay, here comes somebody. Let me let them get theirs. You go ahead. Come on. Ain't gonna fit both of us up in this thing. So come on. I hope there's enough space even with me coming over to the side. God dang. So tight ass roads. Can you make it? You got the real deal. I think you good. All right. That's probably who I'm delivering to. All right, let me see. Is this it? Already. Must be the day. I'm trying to think if I even been on this. All this stuff start looking at me when I've done so much of this. This feels familiar though, like I've been over here before. All right, y'all. One more down and 4 more to go on this route. Yeah, the cutest little dog at this house. He made the cut. He gonna be the vitamin. He or she gonna be the vitamin C for today. If you know my channel, I do these things I call your daily vitamin C. C for cute. This little dog was hilarious. Oh no, we're not doing that. Why would I do that? That's crazy. Don't you hate how Google? I mean, I love Google mostly for the way the maps is, but every now and then, what really gets on my nerves is when it tells you like you're on a dead end street and you about to turn back out so you can continue, wherever you're going, and it wants to tell you to go all the way down to the end of the dead end. Come back. I'm in a driveway. Why the hell wouldn't I just make a right or a left? Why would I go to the end of this where the hell I'm at? When I'm out here in this, why would I go to the end of this? Because there's a dead end part of it. Why would I go to the end where, in country tradition, there's more than likely some really nasty pile of trash where everybody dumps their shit at the end of the road? Because that's usually what they do in little areas like this. Why would I go down there to turn the hell around? Hmm? What logical human being would put their life in jeopardy like that to go down to the end of a road like this? Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Like, some of y'all get it. The other ones like, I don't get it. But if you from America or anywhere country, you know, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking. I say anywhere country because that seems to be a rule all over the world when it comes to places where it's in the rural area. There's always some little dumping area where people just go and put mess in the woods, right? So if you got a dead end street, it don't connect to another main street. I guarantee you, at the end of that street, there's a mess. And Lord forbid, there's somebody down there squatting. You know what I mean? No, we're not doing that. We're not living that life. You got the railroad out here, boy. It's the real. They got the railroad going through the country road. Now that's something I ain't seen one of them in a while. I see railroads all the time, but usually they're connected to paved roads. I haven't seen one cutting across a gravel road in the middle of the woods in a long time, y'all. Long time. See, these kind of woods that inspired my creature feature. I have a creature feature that I shot, short film. It's right here on the ONYXCON network. It's an ONYXCON film original. It's called Biggity. What is it? Biggity. If you ain't seen it, you need to get that in your life, all right? Look up Biggity. What is it? It's right here. Starring yours truly, written by me, directed, casted by me. Music by Zeno Bathroom. Shout out to Zeno. Music by Marco Majors. Starring a legendary cast. Really cool story. Something that you need to get in your life. All right. If you like intellectual horror, if you like stuff like Sinners, if you like Get Out, if you like stuff like that, if you like Jaws, if you like Godzilla, then you'll love Biggity. What is it? And we still, till this day, I still want to make it into a feature. What it was originally intended to be was a full 2 hour movie. But what I ended up shooting was a short, what we call sizzle or proof of concept in the film biz, because anybody with the right vision and budget would see that and say, "Oh man, this is something else. This is like a piece of a bigger story." It's pretty obvious when you watch it, you know. And if you like it, you'll want to see the rest of the story. But that's called budget. We need budget, you know, and I mean a real budget. Like, you know, Hollywood do stuff for millions. I could do a major. I could make you think it was made out of millions with a 6 figure budget. Give me a few 100,000 out, man, please. Oh my gosh, you think it was a Marvel movie by the time I finish. Especially with this AI, what you can do with the animating, and you ain't got to deal with you know people and their egos and attitudes and lack of response and get back, and ain't nobody waiting on nothing. Ain't nobody waiting on nobody. Not waiting on nobody. I even know some AI animators that are doing top notch Hollywood level stuff now. Because everybody's using it, but not everybody understands color, light, texture, form. They don't really understand. They weren't artists before artificial took over. They're not, you gotta be a real artist, and then your stuff can look like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, Marvel, you name it. You just gotta have that eye. You gotta have that understanding of light forms, shape, texture, timing. You know what I mean? All of that. Hair, makeup, the whole time. You got to understand the film process. And I've been in the film biz, man, over 12 years now. So I know a thing or two. I know a thing or two. So yeah, if you don't believe me, you want to check out something cool. You want to watch something in this era of wondering, is this AI or is it? Well, you ain't got to worry about that with this. I wasn't even using AI then. I mean, I would use it now. I ain't gonna front, but I would still be an actor in it. I would still have my actors in it. I would still have real people because I prefer that. But for or whatever, oh yeah, okay, make it look like me and have me jumping through the fire. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to do that. You can use it for what it's meant to be. Really, really meant to be. It's a tool. It's a tool. But yeah, it takes place in a country backwoods setting like where I'm at right now. So, and all of this is just common Georgia energy to me. This ain't nothing new to me. Some people, they hear about it, they talk about it, but they ain't never lived it, they ain't never been to it. So this is probably fascinating to some people because they're like, wait a minute, this is really, wow, where is he? Yeah, I'm way the hell out. That's why I'm like, for real, you know? And that's like I said, that's just this is every day for me. At some point, I'm gonna get a ride like this doing what I do, more or less. You know, sometimes I don't be in the mood for it, so I don't want these long bar out joints. But they tend to pay better than the regular ones to keep you near. All right, we back, and we are back. Thank you to the one who hung out with me. You must be a real one. That must be one of my subscribers. That's one of the people who put the thumbs up. Ain't nobody else gonna wait around to see. Appreciate that. Hit the comment so I know who you are. You must be a subscriber. I know it's one of my subscribers. I do it for y'all, y'all. I do it for myself and I do it for y'all. Cause for real, I always say my going live like this every day. These are my dear diaries. These are like, remember when I had to do that? Because I want to be able to, when I get some, enough subscribers and enough watch time hours and everything for the full monetization. Look at this, look at this, look at these pastoral hills. You know what I mean? When I get that kind of funding, I put in all this content daily and everything, yo, that is when it's gonna feel real good to look back one day and watch one of these videos and remember when I was in the car forced to do these drop-offs for these huge, big conglomerate companies in the damn world and got us out here working pennies. You know what I'm saying? But it's showing the real grit, the grind, and what folks like myself who think outside the box are willing to do to reach their dreams. You see what I'm saying? Some people talking, I'm showing you how I walk it. And it's a good feeling every time I do this. That's why sometimes I flip the camera and show y'all where I'm at because I want you to experience how this is. Just imagine if this was, you're doing all this work, right? You're trying to get all this so you could just pay your bills. Like this right now, what I'm right this minute is the only reason a straight fool this GPS is acting a fool. Anybody else been going through this lately? But I've noticed it's getting worse. Like, but the town could be surrounded by the rest of the area, and this thing got me literally 16 minutes away from where I should have been. It was so freaking off. But you ain't never been there, so you just gonna follow. What else you gonna do? You gonna follow the instructions? Hey, whatever GPS say I'm doing, right? What else you got to go on for? But I'm learning once you get there, then when you realize it's got it wrong, you got to put the address in physically again to get it to recalibrate and get it right. Well, if anything, I'm learning about a little town, not that little. I'm realizing this town is way bigger than I thought it was. I've been to other parts of it, and I didn't know it had, had parts that look like this. It reminds me of the town I live in. At this time in history, the whole state of Georgia is like, there's a booming economy of all kind of stuff going on. All kind of stuff going on. Because everybody can't fit in Atlanta. they can't all fit in Atlanta. So in the Atlanta surrounding area. So people learn after about 2 years or so, if they don't leave, they go to the boonies and then they just keep going further and further out. Every time they move, they get further and further out. And that's true of all of us, even people from here. Excuse me. But to finish my thought when I was talking about Country Wayne and stuff, like, he he caught himself in the interview. He kept saying trap house this and moving that weight. He using all these street dope terms and stuff. And every time he does it, the two hosts they just kind of laughing it off like, hey, yeah, that's wild, man. You talking that street stuff. Yeah, but it's because everybody wants to act like, oh, they just all relate. They all know about this. It's all, yeah, we understand. We know how it is. Do you? Like, and if your example of you do is you are the victim, not the damn, you ain't like everybody wants to dance to the new T.I. song and act like they were dealing crack. When they gonna sing the little chorus part, like I got a pocket full of ground stones. I mean, like, it's not cute, people. It never was, and it sure as hell ain't after we done lived the results of this stuff, man. Autism at an all-time high in black communities. Tons and tons of families broken. Prison industrial complex times 100,000. It's just on and on and on. But every time you see the culprits, man, they good now. They just, I mean, the ones who could survive, not go to jail, not get caught up in getting shot, not whatever the worst, what they say, there's only two ways. You either going to end up dead or in jail. That's what they say, right? Okay. So for the ones who didn't, okay, who were savvy enough, clever enough, charming enough, funny enough, good looking enough, talented in whatever ways enough, I'm saying for men and women, I'm just saying how this thing tends to go, right? We see what happens. They end up being heroized for everything they do versus what they're doing just now. Like, I'm okay with celebrating, okay, you're funny now. Not all of your humor is about that stuff. You're not celebrating that person, like with the except even the character he has that's like the D-boy style rapper, he's not technically dealing. He's just this dude who trying to be a rapper and go, whatever. But they allude to other stuff because that's usually the sticky thing that goes with them kind of people. They still be kind of waist deep, ankle deep in some shit. They just don't want to, just like they don't talk about that because they don't want to be indicted. They keep the other thing out front to make it seem like, oh, it's clean. I'm just rapping. Yeah, okay. But they still doing all this other stuff too on the side. Because when the rapping, if you ain't blown up yet, how you paying your bills? The rapping ain't gonna pay your bills if you ain't that man or that woman yet. You ain't that star. That ain't paying the bill. Ain't nobody booking you at the clubs, and ain't nobody. You happy to just get on and do something for free to get your name out there, whatever. And then when you start getting a little buzz, locally or whatever, okay, great. You might be able to charge a little something, get something, but you still probably got a day job. And they allergic to day jobs. They allergic to just straight up get out here and bust your ass like I do every damn day. No, they gotta be doing something seedy. They gotta be scamming. They gotta be dealing. They gotta still be in some shit. Something to make it seem like, you know, I just can't get down like that because man, if I gotta work I gotta work a month to get the new Jordans versus I just went and did this drop and now I got my Jordans. See, it's all that bullshit. And then they want to front and throw it in the face of everybody who actually does do it legit and tell you, oh, you brokey, and all these other stupid ass phrases they come up with for everybody who's just literally the real everyday people. See, man, that I don't want y'all to wait. See, I was never ignorant to none of the stuff I'm saying, but I don't want y'all to be as angry as I started to get when I got near 50 and realized what that really is when you see a dude who ain't even your age yet, who is bragging about doing all this shit, and he's rich. There's nothing about that makes any damn sense. When people always say, all you good Christians, you Christians, because he'd say he a Christian. That's the other part, maybe. God is popping. That's what his chain say. Oh my gosh. It's popping all right. Well, my man, the only one who done said it right, and everybody mad at him and trying to shut him up. The real smart ones was like, look, I ain't trying to argue with the one that's making sense. So some of the thug rappers are giving D1 his props. I'm talking about D1. Some of them still hating on him, but a lot of folks was like, "Yo, I'm with my man D1. They co-signing him. They ain't changing their tune. They still rough. They still rugged. They still do whatever they do and talk what they talk. But they smart enough to understand, hey, the hypocrisy of a lot of communities, and especially in the black community, is as long as you say you with, because of the game that was played on the black community by the who did that? Satan. Y'all remember Church Lady? Saturday Night Live? Satan. Yeah, right. Uh huh. You know, so for those guilty on that side of the equation that pushed religion onto black folk, broke folk into this form of reconditioned Christianity, because original Christianity is out of really, quite frankly, the format of it is from Kemet, ancient Egypt, but the establishment of it, you go to places like Ethiopia. Okay, shout out to the Ethiopian Orthodox Christian churches. Okay, that's the original Christianity. But by the time they get a hold of it and throw it back at you and pretend, oh, to where people be like, I heard there's Africans that have been doing it for centuries. Yeah, yeah, about that. They kind of get into it like we did, but it's really ours. It started in Europe. No, no, and hell no. No, it's just that's not true. You can just do a quick chat GPT and it's gonna tell you the damn truth. Do one. Most of y'all don't be doing that every day. You're scared of the result. You don't want to hear the truth. You want to keep running and hiding under the lie. The lie is more comfortable. You know, built your whole life off that lie. It's enough is enough, y'all. And I'm saying, like I say, back to all this, if as long as the rappers who don't want to be, they want to seem like, yo, when I thank God on the mic and everything, well, let me get cool with a Christian rapper who says, hey, I love you, you my brother, because that's the Christian thing to do. Shout out D1. But he's genuinely mad at you motherfuckers. Like he ain't nice about it. He ain't happy about this shit. He's pissed the fuck off about how does this keep going? Generation for generation. This is killing us. That's what he's saying. And everybody be nodding like, that's right, that's right. You'll see him at an award show. I wouldn't be surprised if he don't be at the next BET award. I hope he is. That'd be great. And hopefully they let him perform. I don't know. But here's the hypocrisy. This is how they do it. He performed, and right after him, they'd have Sexy Red. Oh my gosh. And T.I. with a special performance when I selling crack. It's like what the fuck? That's how stupid it is, y'all. That's how stupid it really is. If you really get literal about how goofy this is. Damn. You know? And I remember when T.I. was attempting to be a known, using his celebrity to be a revolutionary, and he was boycotting the Houstons and Buckhead because of mistreatment of black folk when they sit down and eat. And he was hanging out a lot with dignitaries from the civil rights movement and all this. And I thought, okay, all right, I see the changes. I see what you're doing there, and I liked it. And I liked a lot of music that was around that time that he was doing because he was becoming more on some conscious rap. But I guess that didn't pay enough of the bills or caught too many cases. And what does everybody always do when the bills start stacking? They go back to the bullshit. Like you got a pocket full of crack. See, I'm trying to tell you, that's what they do. As soon as the bills get too high, then they go back to that BS. That's what happened with this recent situation with this damn Kevin Hart thing, man. It's a damn shame. And I like Kevin Hart for the most part. Ain't everything. That's for anybody. If I say for the most part, you can bet I generally like that person as a performer because that's all I know. I don't really know him. And I've met him. I worked on a film. I worked on Night School. I was in the first few seconds of the official trailer. I bragged about it enough, and I always will because I'm very. I did. Very major moment for me as an actor. But I'm saying, met the man, shook his hand, all that stuff. But you know, he was going through a thing. I've heard and read that people in his company were disgruntled. That's bigger, more money he's getting, more money, more problems, right? Mm-hmm. So they do this stupid ass roast. But it turns into a freaking white supremacist, covert disrespect of all black people festival, guised as humor. When I heard about, I've seen clips and I couldn't stomach them. And then I heard people read direct quotes of what happened. And I'm not a fan of Dr. Umar because he's an extremist. Mhm. But I did like what he had to say about that particular thing. He went hard on it, and I was right there word for word. Like, yeah, that's bullshit, and that's bullshit too. And what the hell? How in the hell did that even happen? And they said what to who, got away with it for what? Like, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But why? Because people, what I've learned, When you let that money come first instead of respect, I keep telling y'all, respect first, then power, then money. You keep putting money first. If you keep putting money first, you'll always bend over. You'll always take all the abuse. You'll always be the joke. You'll always be the people that everybody know, oh man, just set the price higher, they'll bend. That's it. That's all they got to do. And you in. It's ridiculous, man. We all got bills to pay. I'm out here right now killing my tank because of bad GPS and just long, far out places to go and do this anyway. But I got my integrity, and I may not be making barely anything of what I should be making, but goddamn it, every day when I look in the mirror, I know I'm my own man. I set my own hours, and ain't nobody can punk me. That's some real shit. That's some real shit. Not this other stuff. Not all this. Oh, he rich though. Fuck his rich. Do you know, man, how many people have taken advantage of that person? You know how many people got that person's card and can pull it whenever they want, and they will jump because they got their whole life tied up with somebody else's nonsense instead of standing on their own. You got to be able to stand on your own, y'all. You got to be ready to walk if you got to walk. That's the difference. The only reason everybody's still talking about that thing with that roast and how disgusting it was, which I agree it was totally disgusting, is because unfortunately Kevin Hart and a lot of those superstars like that, man, they are bought. I'm just gonna say it like it is. It's sad to say. It's what, and then you got some people disappointed in Cat Williams. I'm like, you surprised? You didn't. You thought that he really was just literally just the whistleblower and that was it. Like, no, he's a comedian every day, man. It's a job. So he chose to be that way about it and make some money, and that blew up. It worked. It turned Shannon Sharp into a household name. It turned him into the rest of a household name. He was already known, but he became even bigger. You know, and I still appreciate what Cat was getting at. All he was saying is what I'm saying right now. But they'll let you even do that. You can do that. Ain't no, but we got a category for that. We got a whistleblower category. But here's what they always do. Even you gonna have to come back and bow down and kiss the ring some kind of way. We know we've allowed you to be the whistleblower, so you're never gonna just straight up bend over for us. But we're gonna make you do something that you wouldn't do. Because if you want that other thing, you got to do this to get to the money we got. Because you let that money lead you. Now, I'm not saying he's the kind of guy to be bought, but you're still in the system. When you're in the system to that degree, they gotta wait over you, and they know it. And I've come to the conclusion, even as I get older, as you know, somebody who's been in Hollywood, still consider myself connected and everything. I made peace with the fact I was never going to necessarily become even the level of star I wanted to be in Hollywood because the system was like, man, that dude, no, he ain't going. That dude is never coming to the drought after party and the weird, you know, what they call it, freak off mess. You know, all that stuff that P Diddy went down for. He ain't about none of that, and he the type. He ain't even gonna blow no whistle. He just like we'll be in the news because if you test him, he might go upside somebody's head. Yeah, yeah, he that. Yeah, his temperament is different. He really don't care who's watching if he gonna make his point. You know, he Will Smith crazy in the moment of slapping a motherfucker. You know, even though that is still tied in. You know, I'm just saying, y'all, it's all a bunch of mess. It's a big charades out here, and even some of these people I'm talking about, they still can be good people. It's like any other person that let money lead, and now they're stuck in a situation where they kind of have to play roles sometimes. They don't even want to play. They don't even want to do it. They just like, man, if I don't do this, I think they're gonna take it off. So play the game. Play the game. You gotta. If you know it's a game to start with, they probably ain't gonna mess with you the same way. Damn, look at this snake. Oh snap. Oh snap. Oh, that would have been a good short, a good outdoor short. That would have been honest kind of outdoors content right there. Or he wasn't hauling that. He was kind of like this. But by the time I got the camera ready and everything, all I may have got the tail.